A scorched market, the ecological collapse of dating. If the dating market was treated like a game, then there are only a few winners, while most don't win. It's almost like the economy. Back then, it wasn't like that. People actually found satisfying relationships and they built families. Let me talk about the few winners in this market, and we're all likely familiar with them.
I'm looking for a man in finance.
If you're a girl, then
Trust
you
fund.
probably like the
6'5".
6'5" finance guy, or the biker, or the famous guy, or the surgeon, or the athlete, or the criminal. On the male side, it's these types of guys that are winning on the dating markets. Now, if you're a guy, then you probably like the pretty girl of your type that is young, right? Knows how to cook, respects you, feeds you with just enough attention, love, and appreciation, is independent but collaborative with you, is willing to go through the rut with you, and isn't promiscuous or inviting promiscuity from other guys, right? It's these types of approachable pretty girls that are winning. But the sad thing is that if the person seems too good to be true, then they likely are. The winners in this market are usually not looking for a relationship, but rather to consume what the other gender offers to them without committing to the current person. Usually, winners end things because they got what they wanted out of the few dates. They stayed long enough for things to potentially become serious and real, which they don't want, or they found a new person to replace the current person they are seeing. But I am here to give a different perspective in dating for those looking for something real. Now, why are there only a few winners in the game when back then there was much more? Well, everything has to do with how expectations have shifted in modern times. And I will begin with the girls' expectations, right? Girls, ideally, want everything a man can offer: wealth for potential family or lifestyle, luxury experiences, adventures in dating or vacations, great romance and sex life, status from the man, emotionally intelligent discussions, etc. Now, a few guys can give all of that. However, these guys are rarely young. Usually, these guys are in their mid 30s or 40s with an established life, not in their 20s. And that is a problem for young guys looking for a relationship, right? Most of us young guys will find that girls don't want us because we simply don't offer as much when compared to these older established guys or compared to even their own careers. From a girl's perspective, she may have already had great experiences with great guys, right? She may have already had fantastic dates and adventures, lifestyle, and romance early on. Now, for her to settle for lesser than what she's already experienced is a tall order to ask, according to them. And I can understand that to an extent. Even then, if a girl hasn't experienced a great guy, she might not settle for less because she can see what is possible for her to experience through social media. And so her perspectives, standards, and expectations simply might stay elevated. However, this leads to the rejection of most young guys. But the problem is that many young guys eventually grow up into established lifestyles if they choose to work on themselves. By that time, we young guys are no longer young, and young girls are no longer young. We guys become men, and you girls become women. The dynamic switches, but we, the men, do not forget about our dating experiences. The thing is that many girls don't necessarily lose in this change of dynamic. Girls that look for a relationship early on, especially if they were willing to compromise, they likely found them. And girls that look for casual and remain looking for casual will still enjoy and have access to casual flings in their 30s and even 40s. However, girls looking for casual flings, but then changing to looking for something real later on, will find that they will have a hard time finding it with quality guys, especially if they started looking for something real too late, like their mid 30s. So they may end up settling with a man that they wouldn't have settled for if they were younger. These women not being able to access the quality guys they could have had access to back then causes much hurt and dismay.
Being single
And even
at
then,
46
there are a
sucks.
few guys that never intended to settle down with any of the girls they've been with. But that's the state of the market. A few years in the dating market can cause enough trauma for a lifetime for anyone that plays it long enough. Casual hookup culture can be experienced, but long enough will likely cause mental health and attachment issues. Ghosting and treating the other gender like an enemy has become normalized, but sadly, it's arguably justified. Therefore, those that understand that the market is scorched learn how to navigate it, learn when to play it, learn when to not play it, will come out with the least damage incurred. If I could suggest one thing to the beginners in this market looking for a fulfilling relationship, is that you should understand that sacrificing non necessary expectations and standards will give you the best chance at finding a fulfilling relationship early on, and that a relationship is built with effort, not found. In part two, I will give my opinions as to what I think girls should do to find a quality relationship with a quality guy early on. And part three, I will do the same for guys. Thank you for watching.